Okay. Applause for me. Golfers applause. I thought that's okay. My name is Bojan. I was in a team Max Shots with Dragan there. Hi. Also Igor Totic, Srki, Srđan Mitrovic, and Goran Bregovic. Oh my god, I don't even names of my teammates. Anyway, the game we made was called Mushroom. It was a 2D side-scrolling, pointy-clicky, but without pointing and clicking adventure, like Dear Esther, Gone Home, and the other.
Dear Esther, Gone Home. Did you hear Esther?
I deny all involved.
Anyway, the game was originally the game was written by me. So when the team was released, we don't see them as they are, we see them as we are. Me and Igor were talking about the team and decided that it must be something about a character who doesn't speak, but objects in the world talk to him. So we built the whole premise on that, and we even decided that if we don't find anyone to work with another 15 minutes, we'll make it by ourselves in RPG Maker, and it's okay. It's the format of the game is nothing complicated, so it doesn't involve anything different than RPG Maker.
It involved learning on site.
Learning on site, yeah. But we've been connected to other teammates by Damir, and so it got to a much grander scale, and I must say the game looks impressive. The girl did a really good job with animation and drawing. Too bad he's not. He probably hears on stream, and I don't think the stream has sound, but anyway.
I think it does, because Milos was.
I was checking on the phone, so probably there.
Milos is here, he hears.
Oh, cool, cool, hi.
The winner of 2 prizes.
The winner.
Yes, the one honestly got you then.
Oh.
The guy who got 2,000 dinars
2,000
in
dinars.
gift card
Oh, gift card, yeah.
after he was rejected.
Yeah. The luckiest bastard of them all. The luckiest loser, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, we agreed upon the game, the design, and how it should work, and pretty much started the same evening on developing the whole game. I started writing the whole script and all the dialogues that will be triggered, and I think on the Saturday morning, so the next morning, I think I figured out I overdid it a bit. Because once we figured out we won't have enough time to complete the whole game, or actually not to complete, we had the complete game from start to finish and all the rooms were there, but we didn't have time to implement the old things we wanted the game to have. If anyone of you played the Silent Hill Shattered Memories on PSP, PS2, Nintendo Wii? No?
No.
It's an adventure horror game. It's not a survival horror game like previous Silent Hills. It's a reimagining of the first game, where the game changes as you make some decisions. Because you're actually a storyteller in that game. You're sitting in a psychiatric institution or office, you don't know, but
a psychiatrist.
You're talking to a psychiatrist, and he keeps giving to you some tests, some things to fill up, coloring books, and the game changes along that. So we wanted that mechanic in our game. But we didn't want it to be so grand scale. I mean, in Shattered Memories, when you get the color of the house, in the next video sequence, the house is colored that way. So it's really mindfuck moment. I mean, the whole game is crazy. We wanted to present the player at the beginning of the game, once the intro is complete, a five choice questionnaire. One involves colors, other involves sour or sweet tastes. So it will be, we wanted to change the tone of dialogues according to that. But as the time passed, we figured out we won't have any, we won't have time to do any of that. So fortunately, Serki did huge research and writing and designing of that test for no reason. So yeah, we had a lot of ideas that we had to drop out, and we started to feel bad the last day, and the last day was really stressful. Manya can remember on the radio when we talked, the Global Game Jam radio, I said I felt more relieved this time because I had experience and blah blah blah, and oh hell no. Just because you had 1 or 15 game jams behind you doesn't change shit. It can only make you think, yes, I have experience, I can do this all day long, and I can make the game in 5 hours. No. So we had problems with time management and communication, and I think the lack of communication was, it was the theme of this global game jam, at least local game jam. No, not the one that was presented at 7 p.m. on Friday. It was the lack of communication, the game,
Sunday,
the jam.
What?
No, it's Friday evening when the global game jam team was released, revealed. It was not we are Sunday, blah blah, we are. No, this jam had team lack of communication. And I figured out with talking with Damir, you, Manya, my teammates, everyone.
What's Resta?
Okay? No, I want to
I want to Dance Revolution.
Dance Revolution was.
I've got one question. Bravo. When was the moment when you decided to abandon those ideas from the beginning?
It was already too late. Sunday morning.
So that was the exact moment.
That was the exact moment when the team gathered on Sunday morning, when we all arrived at the site. That was the moment when we said, "Okay, dudes, we cannot possibly do this. 6 hours, cut it."
Okay.
So
Sunday morning was noon.
11 a.m. Almost noon. No, it wasn't high noon. It was low moon. Low moon. So anyway, we managed to finish the game. We fit some narrative into the game, and managed to upload it in time and have enough time to chill the fuck out before the demonstrations began. So it really did help to cut it. So yeah, if you figure out that your game is growing faster than you can manage it, start cutting and just finish the game. So it's the whole strategy for NES game jam. Just finish it, and whatever the cost.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever the cost, don't go killing people. Stuff. It's too high.
You've changed my life.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I would like to congratulate your team because for me, you were the only team on site which resembled a team. You know, you were constituted by people who communicated very well. As far as I
Yeah, I want to say that,
there was
and
great communication with you guys.
for some reason I skipped it. Anyway, the whole our team was gathered on the game jam. I already knew Igor and Srđan beforehand, and I met Dragan and Goran, but none of us worked together on a game jam together. So for 5 people to start working something together at the site, this was a huge success.
Yes.
Great success. Anyway.
Let me just add
Okay.
something. It's very interesting that this year, the newbies, the teams that made their games for the first time, teams that's met for the first time, were more successful than the veterans.
Exactly.
The people who made games before, the people who participated in game jams before.
Well, I don't know. Ranku's team did a really amazing game.
Yeah, right. Seen it, but then.
Yes, but for example, the team that did the platform game that for some reason looked like Vectorman.
Yes.
Yes, that's the game that won Game Jam for me.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you never worked together on a game.
No, this was the first time actually.
So that's amazing. Especially that one of your teammates never actually worked on a game before. He just did board games. He never did graphics for video game, and
That's enthusiasm in stock, in abundance.
yeah, a bunch of enthusiast dudes and amazing result by the end. So let's back to our game. The problem with our game was that it was heavy with narrative. Because the game is designed from the start to tell a story. To tell a weird story through the weird way and to let the player figure out what the hell happened in the end. So to cut the story short, our game was the story of our game. You don't know who you are or why you're there. No other characters are present in the game, but the objects in the game talk to you. And the idea for the player is to figure out that he was a scientist some time ago, working on a nuclear device and wanted to further it out to global domination by nuking the everything. Nuking. When in doubt, nuke the whales.
That's a word.
Because you had a nuke in your team.
Yeah. Yes, Igor's nickname is Nuki, but not Nuki, but more like Nuki, like Limp Bizkit. Nuki.
But now it's
Oh dear.
Like quick sex. That means
Nuki. So, in the end, I think you probably all played the game, and you remember the huge nuclear explosion in the end. That was the moment when the game was supposed to trigger the aha moment. So Martian cloud. That's why everyone talks you have PhD. That's why the furnace was so delighted.
That was my assumption, so I was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The whole idea was you're the one who caused all that stuff to happen.
Yeah. But what,
And that's why they have to close down in the cell, and that's why they erase your memories and also tested you to figure out whether you're still dangerous to them. We had many layers to that game, and not all dialogue managed to fit in the game. So not everyone had the exact interpretation of what happened.
well, you must keep in mind as well that everybody who tried your game were very tired. Also,
But
most jammers.
once we finished uploading the game, and once it was on the Global Game Jam site, we decided to share the links and our passion, joy, and blood and tears that we wept for 40 hours with our friends on Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. And for example, one interpretation of the game was, well, you got stoned as fuck and walked around and nuke.
And nuke.
Seriously,
But
not just a few people presume that you were high and you're just tripping around. But yeah, you were definitely in an asylum and definitely you're alone, but for some reason now there is a fallout.
wanted something.
I have
Okay.
One question. I mean, not a question, but it's like observation. When I tried the game, I remember that I couldn't read any of what they were telling to me, these subjects, because the lines would go very fast. And so
True,
that's why I didn't understand anything.
Yeah, that's the whole payoff of cutting down the game at the last time.
That's
So maybe many other
we-
people didn't.
we actually did only one playtest before uploading it to the global game jam site and before showing others. And that test was, okay, we know how to play this and we know exactly what to do in this game. Press right, go there. It works. And for that, that was the moment when we said, okay, it works, it's perfect, and upload and sail away. And that is the problem. That is the whole problem with rushing the game at the last moment. You have to playtest. You have to playtest the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Even in 48 hours. For example, on Indie Speed Run in September, we had plenty more play testing and runs through our game. And also the game was also narration heavy, so that's that. But no, I think it's, yes.
Did you get to play test with other participants this year? Did you get someone else besides your team to test the game?
I said it not before we uploaded the game to the website. Sorry, no problem. That's the main problem. On the last game jam, we did bunch of playtests by ourselves. We showed the game the whole time to our friends, to people who were present on the site. So we managed to figure out most of the bugs last time, except the one, the mouse sensitivity was horrible. And that was because it was tested on my laptop that has sensitivity minus 50-100. So that's pretty much how our game jam went. I already said a few things. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anybody in your team who was considered to be a leader? You know, the guy pushing the deadline, yourself?
No, the leader was an amoebius creature built by me and Igor Totic.
Okay.
I was the one leading the design of the game and how should everything work. So yeah, my main job was the scenario, writing and storytelling, but I also talked a lot with our graphic designer Goran. No, draw this here. No, it doesn't have to look menacing. Cartoony, but not too cartoony. So we pretty much nailed the design of the game. But Igor did the managing stuff.
Okay.
So for example, he sat with Dragan last 2 days and encouraged him. I know he should have been present here. I know because for the last evening and last morning.
All right.
Okay. When I say days, I don't mean 24 hours. I mean Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah. I mean, we were joking that he was, holding the whip and punching us to finish the game on time. But yeah, he for example, he decided to make some cuts to the game. So
those were how should I say, when you gathered your team, was there any word about about somebody being the leader?
Well, since was the original idea for the game was mine and Igor's.
So the
pretty
rest
much
of the team
we
just bowed to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I won't say they bowed to that. They were slaves and peons or something.
But you'd love to say that.
Yeah.
You sick bastard.
They didn't really bow, but they were weak.
I'm a dungeon master. There are my pawns.
Okay.
No, not like that. The whole team, because the other three guys were. We know how. Okay, we know how to do stuff. But they also provided some ideas that went into the game. For example, Sergeant's idea was the whole testing and procedural changing of the game. I mean, we wanted for carpets of the game, some small objects to change the color depending on your choices in the starting test. And yeah, I was annoyed that we had to cut that out from the game because that really, from my first experience in Game Jam, is should be making a game that is replayable.
True.
Because if you remember, our game had 2 endings, but they were pretty much same-ish.
Pretty much.
And people like play it once. It's cool, interesting, but why do you have it this, and why should I play it again? So that was my main problem, when I started writing the game. I didn't expect from the start many more playthroughs or possibility of cutting down the content in the game.
I have to slightly disagree with you because the game made during this global game jam, Afterthought, I believe it's called, is the same every time you play it, but it's just three levels going forward. Yet it is a fantastic experience when you play it for the first time, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant game, but it doesn't have any replay value. So I don't think that replayability is something that you must focus on during Jam.
Yeah, you either go huge and blow people's mind, or you make a replayable game.
This was a huge.
No, I don't mean huge. You make something that wows people at the first playthrough, and that's kind of hard during a jam.
I think you almost nailed it in the previous game.
So, anybody get any questions? We're running out of time a little bit.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to finish or make the game bigger and implement that mechanics with the?
We were discussing right after we completed submitting the game about getting together one day after the jam, when once we all start sleeping normally, and to complete the game. We didn't want to expand the rooms more than anything. We already. Yes, we wanted to implement tests. We wanted to implement all the dialogue that was written, and to add more interaction. Actually, more feeling to interaction with the game. With the current state of the game, you just walked by the object and it starts spouting words at you, and you don't know which object can talk to you. But in the final version, it should be once you go to the door. Okay, doors have press W to enter. But for example, once you start with a bunch of papers that reveal something to you, reveal a piece of story to you, you should get a prompt. Press that button to read. Press spacebar to read. Press W. So that's I mean that is the first thing we should be doing on the game once we eventually start redoing.